Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here today, and like I said in a video a few days ago, it's PTO season and we got a couple PTO signings to talk about, including the two teams on your screen. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button, as we are trying to get to a thousand subscribers. Sorry, it's been an early morning. I'm on night shift now, so if I sound a bit tired, that's probably why. But let's get to it, as we'll start with the Carolina Hurricanes have signed Calvin Haan to a professional tryout. Haan did play for the team in 18-19. He played 74 games, for the team back then. Came in the NHL in 2011-2012. He's 31 years old. This is a good depth PTO that can help the back end just for a few games here and there, back-to-backs, injuries. Calvin Haan is a pretty good 7th, 6th defenseman for a team like Carolina, who just, if there's an injury for a few games, slot him in. If there's a significant injury, you could slot him in. He's there to play. He's not the most offensive guy. He is a veteran in the NHL. Offensive numbers aren't there. He's more of a defensive defenseman. The last few years he's played in Chicago. While Chicago's been going downhill, he's been minus 37. But before that, he's plus 37 in the previous season. So he's still a pretty good shutdown defenseman that can give you the third line minutes. You know, gives you playing time here and there if you need injury-wise and whatnot. And this is a good PTO signing by the Carolina Hurricanes where they need it. They've ran into injury troubles on the back end last year and the year before, where if they do sign Calvin Haan to say $1 million, 750,000, it won't affect them. This is a great PTO signing. I'm actually excited to see what he could do with the Carolina Hurricanes, and maybe even push for a top six role on the defense on that third line there for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now on other news, we got another defenseman on a PTO. Danny Dekeyser is going to Vancouver on a PTO. Dekeyser spent his whole career from 2012 to 2022 with the Detroit Red Wings. Again, another defensive defenseman that lays the hits, hardly takes any penalties. He played 59 games last year, has 26 penalty minutes, so that's 13 penalty minutes without any fights. He's, again, not an offensive defenseman where he's only scored 146 points in 547 games. For his career, he's plus 4 with one bad year in 16-17 where he was minus 22. But for a up and rising Chicago team or Detroit team, he's played pretty well for them. Back in 2019-2020, he did only play 8 games due to a significant injury. In his early years, he played on the power play a bit, but that wore off with eventual different rivals to the organization. And he doesn't shoot the puck much. Has literally 100 shots in the last 2 seasons, but you know, that is what a defensive defenseman does, is stay back, blaze the body where Danny Dekeyser can hit. I've watched this guy hit. He's not as good hitter as Nicholas Cronwall, don't get me wrong, but he can lay the body. He's physical. He can play against the top teams' first lines. And this is a great, again, depth signing for a PTO by the Vancouver Canucks, who ultimately are near the cap ceiling now and just need to figure out for the injuries. That's what a lot of teams are doing. The Oilers signed Ryan Murray. That's basically their Chris Russell from the last 5-6 years. This is for the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vancouver Canucks, the same thing. If someone gets injured, they have that guy that could slot in. If someone's fatigued, they have that guy that could slot in. They can play 40 games a year and be happy, and that's what these guys are looking to showcase that they can do and still be those shutdown defensemen. They can be, if they are going up against a high potent offensive team, they can be slotted in to actually do what needs to be done. But I'm getting stuffed up, so I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.